Tired of having a monitor you can see through? Want to have some more holes in your wall from epic gamer moments? Do you want to scratch that loot box itch? Missing out on the crippling self-realization that you've wasted your life by losing hundreds of hours of progress in a single moment? Well, have I got a game for you. Realm of the Mad God is a free-to-play bullet hell MMO with retro 8-bit graphics. The game offers 18 character classes and a wide variety of items to discover. It's got combat, shared XP, permadeath, bosses, dungeons, cute pets, and a grind that never, ever stops. Now you can only have one character unless you pay more money to buy more slots with real-life doubloons. Get used to doing that, by the way. There's a few classes that might be for you, and there's a neat way to unlock each class. Your base classes are Rogue, Archer, Wizard, Priest, and Warrior. But that's only 5 of the 18 classes, so how do you unlock the others? Find the class that you want to unlock and it'll have requirements for how to get them. To simplify it though, you just need to get every character to level 20, which is the max level, to unlock the next tier of characters. Things like Knight have a prerequisite of having Warrior to level 20. But remember, if you want to make a character as a new class, you kinda gotta off your first character. Every character's range in this game though, some like Warrior and Rogue are very short range but have abilities to make up for it. Really, the only thing that classes affect is your primary abilities, general stats, and loot. So everything. I personally like the Summoner class, which lets me whip up a bunch of creatures to do my bidding for me, to do my job. Yeah, that's it. Getting a character to level in this game is pretty easy. Once you load into a board, you're given quests that point you in a direction of what to fight next for some steady leveling. If you want to go Insano style like me, just teleport to the high level players and leech their XP. Then pray you don't get hit by anything because it will one-shot you. I do recommend having a small group of friends and just running dungeons. Plus, that's really fun to me. This is a game that doesn't just cater to groups, but you will literally fail the game if you aren't in a group. You'll die so quickly. Since the level cap is low, you can actually level up fairly quickly, but the important things are getting these stat potions from bosses and hard to kill enemies. These will raise your base stats, like for example Vitality, so you can gain permanent health. Grinding these is what really helps out in the late game, though they do eventually cap. Did you think that was all the grinding? Oh no. Exaltation is a long-term progression mechanic in the game that goes beyond maxing character stats. By completing specific endgame dungeons with maxed characters, players earn permanent stat increases for all characters of that class. These stat exaltations are tied to different dungeons that provide boosts to life, mana, attack, defense, speed, dexterity, vitality, wisdom, bank account. Oh man, that was a bad joke. I'm gonna leave it in. There are secondary rewards for achieving milestones such as XP and fame gain, damage boost, combat timer reduction, and loot drop chance increase. Fully exalting a class grants unique rewards, including an exalted class skin and a golden statue in the vault. Total progression across all classes also unlocks additional rewards at certain milestones. A lot of the game's content is towards the end of the game, grinding gear portions and a whole bunch for new players is largely unchanged. The updates on this game are more towards keeping a player base entertained rather than attracting a new one, so you kinda gotta grind to get through it. Dungeons in the game consist of a room filled with monsters and a boss at the end, who may drop special items. Certain enemies drop entrances to dungeons and player can enter by clicking or interacting with the portal. Dungeons may have modifiers that affect gameplay, and most of them have a player limit of 50, but there are specific exceptions. Each dungeon has a difficulty rating, and completing dungeons grants completion statistics and fame bonuses. Pets are valuable followers in the game that assist your character in battles and recovery. They cannot be harmed or die from any attacks, and they are not lost upon character death. Pets can be obtained by hatching pet eggs in the pet yard. There are 14 different types of pet, each with their own unique abilities and 5 different rarities: common, uncommon, rare, legendary, and divine. Abilities include close, medium, and long range attacks, healing, magic restoration, AoE attacks, and decoy attraction. Pets can be fused to increase their rarity and level, providing greater power. To level up pets, they can be fed items with feed power to enhance their abilities. Also, they look cute, so that's a plus. However, this is one of the most pay-to-win systems in the game, so be wary. Leveling a pet as a free-to-play is so painful and it takes so incredibly long. So time for the big question. Is the game pay-to-win? Yes. Sort of. To be honest, aside from the pets, the game seems to be more of a pay for advantage. While not as bad as pay to win, it's still kind of a slap in the face with all 12 inches of somebody's bank account. For example, the hub world. 90% of this hub world is trying to coax you into spending your hard-earned money. Little do they know, my account's overdrawn because all of my OnlyFans subscriptions hit my account at once, so, you know. Your vault is extremely limited in how much you can store, but, surprise, surprise, you can buy more vaults. Tired of having only one character? No worries, just buy more. But doesn't that kind of defeat the whole permadeath aspect? A little bit. But I would argue you're even more attached to your character since it's now walking around with a Gucci chain you got from a loot box after spending $500. There's also a whole list of scams on the wiki that was pretty funny to me. Honestly, I would say the game's worth a try. It's actually one of my favorite games to play while something else is downloaded. I played it with a few of my friends and had a ton of fun. The state of the game seems to largely depend on whatever company currently owns it, which is supposedly pretty good right now. I would look into some Steam reviews for something deeper because some people put more than 10k hours in this game and didn't recommend it.